Match number 12 of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2025, and already we have got one washed out game. And I have Deepu with me. Deepu, it's the big contest because Sri Lanka did not play the second game. That's the reason why they're coming from a washed out game. No momentum after losing the opening game of the tournament to India. It's Sri Lanka versus England. Blockbuster of a contest because Bangladesh did give England a scare. Though England had the experience and eventually got over the line thanks to the experience of Heather Knight. But Bangladesh did perform really well. But most importantly, how important is this game for both the sides, especially for Sri Lanka?
Well, it's very important given that, as you mentioned, they had a washed out game against Australia and obviously lost their first game against India. So it automatically becomes a very crucial game since it's the third game and here that the game comes thick and fast. And the only favor I think they have that they're playing in their home conditions, which will suit them a lot. So yeah,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think it's a more important game for Sri Lanka as compared to England.
Absolutely. And did we witnessed that on Sunday where India faced Pakistan, that it's not a high scoring venue by any means. Spinners are coming into play, the ball is stopping and gripping, and you expect a heavy spin, heavy contest tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm expecting a spin heavy game given that India England, beg your pardon, India Pakistan game offered a lot for the spin options, even under the lights, and similar surfaces expected. And Sri Lanka might just have a better spin attack as compared to the English attack. And obviously,
Hmm.
England don't play much in Sri Lanka in the ODI
Correct.
format. So that just might help Sri Lanka to actually bundle out their English counterparts. And yeah, I think they start
Absolutely.
off with a bit edge.
Fair enough, and that's a very important point. But talking about the venue conditions, it's going to be played at the R Premadasa Stadium, the only venue that has been hosted in Sri Lanka, and they are going to host this match as well against England. Average score in women's, men's, whatever you go for women's, it's around the 220s mark, and we saw in that game versus India versus Pakistan when we surpassed the 225 230 mark, we knew we are entering into above par total, which eventually came out to be a very very big total because Pakistan couldn't chase it down. What about Sri Lanka's first performance? First match they played the opening game, the curtain raiser of the World Cup, and they played India. And Sri Lanka did perform well. And first, one of the key elements in that game was the left arm spinner Inoka Ranavira. How good was Inoka Ranavira? And do you think she will be even more threatening in surfaces like Colombo?
Yeah, she will be threatening, and Sri Lanka, could have won that game as well since India collapsed. India is also, making their habit of collapsing in each of their games. So yeah, I think she will be really important in the middle overs, as we have seen in the men's game as well. Dunit Vella did it for Sri Lanka in the multinational tournament Asia Cup. So I think yeah, the left arm spinner, be it left arm spinner or a right arm off spinner, you have your chance when you're playing at Colombo, given that the pitches has enough
Yeah.
variety for the spinners.
Absolutely, that is 100% true, and we understand that Colombo is going to play a huge part, and especially advantage a little bit Sri Lanka because they have proper spinners and they're experiencing those conditions. But no means there is advantage when you talk about the head-to-head, Deepu, because if you look into the screen, head-to-head between Sri Lanka and England, 17 is to 1 by England, winning it by a massive margin in this format. Do you think it's going to continue, or do you think that Sri Lanka have this quality, have the skill set to outclass this England side?
See, both teams look solid on paper. It's just that England don't play much in Sri Lanka, the women's side, and also the fact that if Sri Lanka play well, they field well, they bowl well. Obviously, the batting revolves around Chamaria Tapatu a lot. Nilakshmi Silva in the middle order. If they click on, they can. Otherwise, we can expect a similar result because the head-to-head record is majorly tilted in favor of England, who have a
It
great
is
batting.
definitely tilted towards England, but you said about Chamari Atapattu and her over reliance for her side.
Yeah.
That will always be there, especially Chamari Atapattu, the batter more than the bowler and the skipper. Similarly, on the other hand, Nat Skiver-Brunt, how big a boost has been Nat Skiver-Brunt, the bowler for England? Because in the middle phase, she's giving you extra overs and she's picking wickets too. Has that made the England side even more balanced because they are not playing Lauren Filer?
Yeah, she adds balance to the side in whichever side she plays, and obviously they have spinners in with Eccleston and Capsy can bowl a bit. So I think the bowling is covered even with Heather Knight who bowls the medium pace. So I think they have great options. It's just that how
And
much
I think they
how.
found the right combination of giving Lindsay Smith the new ball.
So yeah, Lindsay Smith obviously being a great option here. They have quality spin bowling with
Yeah,
Lauren Belt, to complement with the pace department. Obviously, the
correct.
skipper is there, the experience of Nat Brandt is there. So I think they have a great bowling attack. It's just that how well they'll be able to manage spin of the Sri Lankan counterparts who know the conditions on the back of their palm. That's going to
Absolutely.
decide the game.
Absolutely, and that's going to be key because Sri Lanka needs to come out well and come out all guns blazing. And we haven't seen the best out of Kavisha Dilari. She's super, super talented, but she's yet to fire in this World Cup. Can we see the best out? Because off spin is going to be key, something that Sri Lanka might make full advantage of the conditions because England might struggle. You think that Kavisha Dilari will be one of the very key player to look into?
Yeah, she's been a senior player for this side, and I think the last time I saw her perform, I think was in that Asia Cup against India, that final.
Final,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that apart from that, I haven't seen her much perform, be it in the WPL or whatever league she plays, or even for the
Mhm.
national colors. So yeah, I
Correct.
think a lot boils down to more to the game because eventually it's very important for Sri Lanka to actually get the points in the team.
It is definitely very important for Sri Lanka to get 2 points after uh, getting a washed out game, though it was against Australia. So they won't mind that at all because facing Australia is a nightmare for any of the side in this tournament. But talking about England, as I said, it was a fantastic opening spell. I must tell you from Bangladesh Seema Maruf Akhtar. She definitely troubled the openers and the top order batters of England. But do you think they are missing a puzzle? Though they are going with this formula of having Amy Jones opening with Tammy Beaumont top of the order, which keeps the likes of somebody like a talented Danny Whitehodge in the bench. Do you think they might think of having a Danny Whitehodge into the side?
I think, given that they have just played one odd game, even though it was a scare against Bangladesh, but I don't see much changes unless and until, as I say over and over again, there is an injury or a health issue. I'm not looking at a change as of now.
Okay, you're not looking into a change because you said about they did get a scare against Bangladesh, but they rattled through South Africa with a 69 all out. That was a complete demolition from England. But what about the players to watch out for? Here are my takes on that. Natskiva Brandt and Sophie Eccleston are for England. Chamari Atapattu and Inoka Ranavira are the two players from Sri Lanka. X Factor, I'm going for Tammy Bowman. I think she needs runs under her belt.
Yeah, she needs runs, but my key watch out player would be Alice Capsey and Lauren Bell. I'm going for a pace. I don't know. Just the gut says the pacer might just
Okay.
do it.
Do you think that Lauren Bell is going to be the key bowler in the power play to get rid
Yeah,
of the big fish of Sri Lanka, which is Chamari
yeah.
Atapattu?
If they get rid of her, it's England's day. Otherwise, she'll make sure that England will have a field day, in the all for 100 overs. So yeah, Lauren Bell will be key, and for Sri Lanka, obviously, it will be Nilakshmi De Silva.
Okay, so you're saying Nilakshi De Silva will
Yeah.
be important for Sri Lanka. A very, very interesting name on the other end. But Udeshika Prabhudani, very, very experienced with the left arm seam she has. Do you think that would come into play? Or in swingers to the likes of Tammy Beaumont and you have Amy Jones and then you have Heather Knight. She's ready in red on form too.
Yep, because all if you see their top three is a little bit susceptible against the left arm seam. We have seen that in the 100 as well, and as well as the series they play at home. So yes, it will be a great matchup. And obviously, if Sri Lanka to win, they have to do well in all the three departments. So not only the spinners
100%.
but also the pacers will have to perform.
They definitely need to play their A game against a quality side like England. But what about the predicted playing 11? Let's take a look into that, Deepu. I'm going with an unchanged 11 for both the sides. I think that the team looks good. I think England are playing good cricket despite getting a scare. They have won both their games. On the other hand, Sri Lanka, I think in home conditions, they should pick the best 11. I think on paper, it looks like the best 11. I'm going with an unchanged side for both the sides, Deepu.
It's expected. Obviously, for England, as you mentioned, they have won both their games and quite convincingly. The first one, a little bit scary. The second one, but for Sri Lanka, I think they drew India close in the middle over stage, almost triggering a big collapse, and we might just have ended up on the losing
Correct.
side. So on that basis, I think they have a great squad, great 11. Just need to click up, and they can scare England or maybe even win the game. So I think it's better
Absolutely.
to
They
go
can scare England or maybe win the game on Sri Lankan soil too. So that is a very, very fair point from your end, Deepu. What about the predictions time now? Putting you into the hot seat. Hosted by Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, R. Premadasa Stadium is going to be the venue. Match number 12, Sri Lanka versus England. Your percentage for this game, Deepu?
I think I'll go with Sri Lanka, 80-20. Yep. I think the duck,
80-20 Sri
yeah,
Lanka. Okay.
I think the duck will be, the duck will change to one. I think, and Sri Lanka can scare this England side, and maybe England is not playing at their potential as of now, as we have seen. Okay, the first game they steamrolled South Africa, but the scare, I think. And given that Asian conditions, we don't know how which England side turns up. So yeah, I think England might just lose this one.
Okay, 80-20
Yeah,
for Deepu says he was definitely on a mission throughout the show, I must tell you, towards Sri Lanka. He says 80-20 for Sri Lanka in their home, the den. They're going to surprise England and beat
yeah.
them, registering their first win of the tournament. That's a huge prediction. Thanks a lot, Deepu. Thanks to all the viewers watching this video. Match number 12, Sri Lanka versus England. Sit back and enjoy. That's all we have for now. We are building India's smartest cricket community. Subscribe to become a part of it.